Hey, we're the Rock and Roll Express. One Cardinal, one club, and one beer.
And that's with Vince and JJ. Welcome to another episode of One Cardinal, One Cub, and One Beer. We are in February. It is Super Bowl week, and I don't care because I don't like the Seahawks and I don't like the Patriots.
The Patriots, yes.
Patriots. So I mean, I'll watch it. I'll eat the food and
Oh yeah.
drink the soda and all the stuff that you have to do because it's Super Bowl Sunday. But as far as doing anything, I nothing special. So
Vince, I can't eat the food and I can't drink the soda. Friday at my job, we're having a Biggest Loser contest for I think 5 weeks. And I'm going to get the eye of the tiger. It's time for me to get back in the game. I'm going to lean up. You'll see me disintegrating in front of your very eyes over the next 5 weeks.
all right. So in
All right.
5 weeks, you will be 120 pounds.
That's right. Just a brain and a spinal cord. That's it.
There you go. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to our channel so that you can have our information as soon as it drops. Those of you who have a Facebook page, remember to like us on Facebook and leave comments on Facebook and tell us how much you hate us or love us or are ambivalent to us. It doesn't matter as long as you talk to us a little bit. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can do it in many different ways. You can get a hold of us on one of our platforms. You can send a DM to us. Or you can use the old-fashioned email, onecard1cup1beer@gmail.com. Those of you who would like to support our efforts, and like I always say, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to be a part of this movement? This movement, like a bowel movement, but who wouldn't want to be a part of it?
You can say you were there at the beginning,
Yeah.
but like when you two played a 30-person venue, you saw them before they hit the Joshua Tree. That's right here.
That's right. Go to patreon.com and in the search bar, just type One Cardinal, One Cup, and One Beer, and you will find us, and you can support our efforts for little as 3 or as much as 10 or somewhere in the middle like 5. We would appreciate it per month. JJ, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, Vince. I've been very excited. All these dates are coming up. I think it's like 9 days for pitchers and catchers for the Cardinals and most teams. Last year, you guys had that Japanese opening day in Japan, and you started a little earlier. But for most teams, I think it's right there at the 13th, and so 9 days to pitchers and catchers. First workouts of the whole complete team. It's just like 3 or 4 more days, and then spring training games. And Vince, I'm getting that fever. I'm getting spring fever. Although the groundhog saw his shadow. I'm just putting that out there. I know, but that's what they say. They have a lot to say.
The groundhog is a jerk.
He's a punk.
I'll be honest with you. I have not had a good week. And it kind of culminated. Kathy had a root canal today, and she had to get a crown. So she's been gone most of the day. And of course, she came home, and her face is still numb. She doesn't want to eat anything, and so I decided I'll go to Taco Bell, and I just get a couple of tacos and a couple of burritos. And they did not ask me if I wanted sauce, and I forgot to tell them I wanted sauce. So as we're pulling away, I said they didn't ask us if we wanted sauce. So I go home and I go into the refrigerator and I get 2 packets because we, like most people, we put the Taco Bell sauce in it. So I don't put taco sauce on my burritos. I eat the burritos first, and they're just the small little burritos. And I just had 2 crunchy tacos. So the first one, I just slathered it up with the sauce and ate it up. Second one, I start squeezing the sauce on from another pack, and I'm thinking, boy, this looks weird. And I look at it's Panda Express sweet and sour sauce I put all over my tacos.
Man, that's a
So
rough day right there. How was it though? Was it okay?
I ate it. I
All
mean,
right.
but I'll eat anything. But
Yeah, that's me
I mean,
too.
two people that and I don't bring up celebrity deaths much, but two people that I really like passed away this week. Catherine O'Hare, who I just think is so funny. Um,
Awesome.
uh, Schitt's Creek was hilarious, and she completely lost herself in that role, and you didn't even recognize that it was her because with the voice and just nailed it. But she came out of Second City Improv Group in Toronto with Eugene Levy and John Candy
Andy.
and Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas.
That was my favorite. Dave Thomas doing Bob Hope. That was my favorite one up there in SCTV.
You ever heard a song from the early '70s called "Painted Ladies"?
No, I haven't heard that.
I'm sure you have. It was really big. Most people don't know
Ladies.
the anyway. Dave Thomas's brother Ian Thomas was a singer, and he that was his only hit was "Painted Ladies."
I'll be
So
darned. Well, Dave had a hit with Giddy Lee, Take Off to the Great Northwest or North.
White North,
Anyway, yeah,
Great White North, yeah.
yes, they talked through the whole thing, and then Giddy would sing the main part. Yeah.
Second, when I was a kid, one of my earliest favorite bands was Three Dog Night. I've said it on here. They need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just last week, I listened to the Professor Rock podcast all the time.
Love that.
And just last week, I found an interview that he did with Chuck Negron. And then Chuck died this week. I'm like, man, I just heard the interview. And I think Danny Hutton may still be alive. Danny or Corey, one of them may still be alive. But Chuck was the one with the mustache, the tall, skinny one who sang "Joy to the World" and "Old Fashioned Love Song" and "The Show Must Go On." And anyway, in the interview, he was talking about "The Show Must Go On," and the reason he sings it like he does is the band was coming to an end. He wasn't happy, and so he just went out there and screamed it. So that's why it sounds like it does, and it became their last hit. But anyway, love Chuck Negron. I love Three Dog Night. It's sad as people pass away because uh, Adley they get older, but I'm still 32. I don't quite get how numbers work. So anyway, I don't want to bring everybody down. I want to bring you all up. So the good news is Britney Spears is still alive.
Yay!
Okay, so uh, you want to do baseball or just skip it?
Heck, oh no, we got to do baseball. We can weave our wrestling and music and all that in between, but yes, of course.
I have breaking news. Breaking news, breaking news. This just came across my phone right before I started here. Carlos Santana has signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks for 1 year.
All right. 40
Carlos
years
Santana,
old. He's
yeah,
still got a job.
he finished the season with the Cubs. He didn't play much at all. But just the year before, he'd won a Gold Glove at first base at the age of 92 or something like that. Um, so um, I don't see him starting in Arizona, but I do see him being a good piece off the bench and a good left-handed bat against some tough right-handers. And Arizona, I think, is going to make a lot of noise this year.
Me too.
They could be a playoff team. They're not going to win that division because the Dodgers, but I think that they could overtake the Padres this year, and I think that they've got an excellent shot of securing a playoff spot. Other transactions, Kansas City signed Hector Neris to a minor league contract, and I saw Hector Neris pitch was it 2 years ago with the Cubs, and yeah, he looked like he should be pitching in the minor leagues. He just doesn't have it anymore. Sad but true. They also signed right-handed pitcher Aaron Sanchez to a minor league contract. If you're thinking, who's Aaron Sanchez? Name's familiar. That's because he hasn't pitched in the majors since 2021. But he's gosh, he had like a 7-year career before that. So I guess he's given another shot. And they've also invited Jose Cuas to spring training. Cuas, who pitched for the Cubs a couple years ago. We got him from the Royals. And then last year he just was terrible. We released him, so he's trying to catch on there. Very happy about this. The Athletics extend Jacob Wilson 7 years, 70 million with an option for an eighth year. So they're like you said last week, they're putting together a good team. So when they do move to Vegas, they'll have a good product out there.
They have now extended 4 of their star players for I think 5 to 7 years. Those 4 guys, I have them written down here. I believe it's oh lordy, I had it in here somewhere. Oh, Butler to 2032 and Rooker through 2030, and Soderstrom through has also been extended. And Vince, I saw pictures of they are really getting the stadium started in Vegas. They still only got the first level, but you can see it coming together. And I didn't even know if they had started it yet, but I'm excited because I don't know how long it takes to complete a stadium, but I bet they might be there in 2 or 3 years. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and I haven't been to Vegas since 42 years. This summer's been the last I've been there. It has grown much more. There are a lot more people who actually live in Vegas. And I think now the population's big enough for them to support a team. Previously, the Raiders have proved that, they can get people to come to a stadium that looks like Darth Vader and the team sucks. So, but previously, it was always thought that Vegas couldn't support a baseball team because there's just too much competition for the entertainment dollar with all the gambling and everything. But I think when the population gets to a certain amount, they have their analytics say, okay, now they can support a team. So I'm hoping they do support the team, but it's going to be like it's going. There's just so much competition for the entertainment dollar. You're going to have to put together a good product on the field. Otherwise, it's going to be crickets in there.
Well, I know they have baseball fans there because they had a minor league team for years and years, and I believe it was the Padres.
Yeah, the Padres, Vegas Stars,
Triple A team, and Brad Thompson who does the games on the TV for the Cardinals. He's from that area, and just a lot of baseball there. There's a college there, so there's a lot of baseball and athletics going on. And like you said, there's a lot of things going for your dollar, for your money, but a lot of people from California can make that trip out there. I don't know how far Los Angeles is, but a lot of people travel back and forth. So I know now that's another reason for me to go to Las Vegas. I've been 3 times and absolutely love it. I was out there about 3 years ago when the Sphere just was about ready to open. And we left about end of June and it opened on the 4th of July. So, yeah, it ought to be a great, I think it's a smaller stadium, but it's going to be a lot of amenities for more leg room and just a beautiful stadium if it looks like the pictures do. So I'm really excited about that, Vince.
Well, I'm happy for Jacob Wilson. I'm happy that they are putting together a good core. So when they move out there, they will be competitive. And I look for them to improve this year. I don't think they're going to secure a playoff spot. I don't think they have that much talent. I don't think they have the pitching for it. But it's nice to see that they're going to be moving in the right direction when they get there. The Twins traded catcher Johnny Parada to Seattle for cash, which reminds me of a story. Someone was traded when I was a kid, and they were traded to Pittsburgh, I think. And I asked Dad, we were on vacation, who did Pittsburgh get? He said Cash. And I said, well, who's going to play second base for Pittsburgh? Because I thought he meant Dave Cash. No, Money Cash. So anyway, The Brewers, I like this move for the Brewers. They signed catcher Reese McGuire, who played last year for the Cubs and had an excellent season. They signed him to a minor league contract. Former Cardinal Austin Gomber is still kicking around. Texas signed him to a minor league contract. And former Dodger backup catcher Austin Barnes is signed with the Mets with a minor league contract. Big trade. Boston trades right-handed pitcher David Sadlin, right-handed pitcher Jordan Wicks, former Cardinal, and a player to be named later to the White Sox for right-handed pitcher Gabe Zeal, and a player to be named later. And I was watching the MLB channel, and they were saying that likely Hicks is going to be in the bullpen and not starting. As a starter, he's had mixed results. He's had mixed results as a reliever too. For a guy who throws that hard, his ERA is well over 4 for his major league career, and the only thing I can figure out is straight fastball.
You don't hit his spots. Like if you throw it right down the middle, these major leaguers, they can time anybody. Yeah, there would be times he would be our closer. And at that time, I think we had Cabrera and Helsley, and it would almost rotate. One guy would get hot, become the closer, and lose the job. We'd slide another guy in there, and it was like that. It seemed like for the whole year. So now all 3 of them we traded them for prospects, and we just went a different direction.
The White Sox were also busy trading third baseman Brian Ramos to the Orioles for cash, not Dave Cash. And they also signed Austin Hayes for 1 year. And I think that's a great signing for them. They're putting together an interesting team. They're going to be a little more competitive. I'm not saying they're going to be 500, but they're not that awful mess we saw 2 years ago. Last year they lost 102 games, and we felt, man, they got much better.
Yeah,
they won 20 more games. It was like, wow.
Woo-hoo!
So Cincinnati is going to reunite with third baseman Eugenio Suarez for 1 year for $15 million, with a 2nd-year mutual option for $16 million. And a lot of people were like, boy, what took him? He hit 49 home runs. What took so long to? First of all, he can't field anymore. He's a butcher, and he's a DH now.
Yeah.
Second, he did hit 49 jacks last year. He does have the advantage of playing in Cincinnati, which is almost as easy to hit home runs as Arizona. So he may have a lot of home runs. But for the Mariners, even though he hit 13 home runs after the trade, he batted below 200, and he did not hit in the clutch at all, which is why the Mariners said, can't field, you can't hit in the clutch. We're going to go find someone else, and we'll get to that in a minute. So bad news for all of us in the division. Eugenio Suarez is back. Bad news for the Cubs because he seems to kill the Cubs.
So it kills us too, Vince.
Yeah. The Reds, I don't think they're a playoff team. But then again, if it pans out the way it did last year and they won 82 games, they could get in if things pan out that way. I just think that there are teams in the National League that have gotten – I think Arizona's back. I think San Francisco is very good this year.
I agree.
The Padres
– They're there.
They're there, yeah. And then in the Central, you've got the Brewers and the Cubs. And then in the East, you've got the Braves, the Phillies, and, of course, the Metropolitans. So,
yeah.
Things are stacked in the National League. Much better league than the American League, I believe.
But one last thing on Suarez, they have Hayes to play third, and he may be
one of the best.
Yeah, him and that young kid for Toronto, Chapman, I believe is his name. Them 2 kids, I think, are right there. Maybe Hayes number 1, but if something happens to him, I guess he is a good backup. But in Cincinnati, that's where he started his career. And I was surprised they traded him in the first place. It was like a payroll dump or something, but they were getting rid of Winker and they threw Suarez in the deal. And I was like, that was a mistake. And I think he's a good pro. He can hit, but like you said, he's a butcher in the field. But
Yeah.
now there's a DH over here. That's a perfect spot for him, and I think he'll thrive. The thing with the Reds, I think they have a lot of young guys and a lot of question marks. You know the three guys you're like, oh, De La Cruz and this guy and Torres, but they have a lot of young guys that just have to come through. And I'm in St. Louis, and I know how that's been the last 2 or 3 years. Our young guys haven't come through, so it'll be fun watching them. Good pitching team.
They've got good starting pitching. I'm not so hot on the bullpen. And I don't think they did much to improve the bullpen. So we shall see. I'm very happy that the Giants signed Luis Arraez 1 year, $12 million, and that will squelch the rumors that Nico Horner is going to San Francisco. Arraez signed that contract, and one of his the Giants' big selling point to him is that you can play second base, and the Padres had him at first base. He is a decent fielder, but he tends to have too many errant throws, and his arm's just not that strong. So, I if he hits 320 for them and gets 190 to 210 hits, I think they can overlook a few things. And I was, I was listening to Harold Reynolds talk about this signing. And he brought up a point that we've talked about a little bit about here, and that people are starting to. You cannot have 8 guys in the or 9 guys in the lineup that are the same hitter, that are just all strikeouts or all home runs, and that's the way a lot of teams are moving, which is why I'm so adamant that the Cubs extend Nico Horner, because if we extend Nico, we've got Nico and Ballesteros, who are both contact hitters, who can hit with 2 strikes, who can put the bat on the ball and move runners over. I hope people start seeing that there's a value in that.
Yeah.
And I know Arraez doesn't walk and he doesn't hit the ball hard. He's got one of the lowest exit velocities, but he puts the bat on the ball, and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get someone who, if you got that runner on second base, he's going to pull the ball and at least move to third base. You got that runner on third base. He's going to put the bat on the ball, give him a chance to score. So I like Luis Arraez. Won 3 batting championships, and that's a perennial all-star in years gone by. But now it's like, oh, he's just a singles hitter. Well, yeah, but he's a damn good singles hitter.
Oh yeah. I'll take him on my team. I tell you what, and yeah, like you said, Vince, times have changed. Bill Madlock, everybody wanted a Bill Madlock on their team, or Boggs or Mattingly, or those guys, and man, Carew. Everybody would want a Rod Carew. Now, I'm not saying Arraez is Rod Carew, but guys that put the ball in play, they're tough outs. They make that pitcher throw 7, 8 pitches at a bat. You can get in the bullpen. I'll take that any day of the week. Now, you almost have to hide him defensively. He's not the slick fielder or anything, but have him work on it, And if I was him and I had to wait this late to get signed, I'd be working out every day, working on my defense just to get average.
Yeah. Former Cub, former White Sox, Dave Robertson, former Yankee, former Philly, former just about everybody, announced his retirement. Last year, I think the Phillies signed him like with 2 months left, and there wasn't much left there. So, and
17 years, that's pretty good. 17
Yeah.
years and 179 saves. I salute him. Salute you, David. I hope you have a great retirement. But man, he made life rough when the Cardinals had to face him. I would see him and think, well, he doesn't look like Chapman or somebody like that. But he'd tear you up. He'd get you to hit it on the ground or pop it up. So what a player! Fun watching him.
Former Cub, last year's failed, second straight failed. We'll get someone from the Astros who was over the hill out of their bullpen and see what they can do. Ryan Presley has also announced his retirement. So good luck to both of them. And I'll let you talk about this other trade that I haven't heard much about. What happened?
Yes. Well, I was going to talk about the Cardinal thing, but yes, actually, you got to be at the right place at the right time. I think in baseball, well, all sports, it's all about being at the right place at the right time. And first of all, when the winter started, we talked about the Cardinals and Chaim Bloom. We kind of knew the players that would be leaving. But we didn't know if they could get it done because John Mozeliak could. And we moved Arenado, we moved Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras, not because we didn't like them. It's just we're in a different phase. And they happen to be here as this happened. Our young players let us down. We had some guys we thought were marked to be very good, and they weren't very good. So Brendan Donovan was the last one of that. And I think, like we were talking, it's the right place at the right time. These other second basemen, these highly touted one, Seattle's Polanco and Arise, who's technically a second baseman, and the Cubs, I didn't think they would move Nico Horner, but there was rumors. And I think if anybody was going to get a second baseman and they wanted to go all out, they would have went Nico Horner. But Brendan Donovan also has some great value too. The Shredder put them pretty much, in the same area on their top 10. But Donovan plays everywhere. He's a right fielder, left fielder, second baseman. He played third. He was the emergency catcher on the team. And a lot of fans, I've heard them say, "Oh, that's it. I'm not watching him this year. Brendan Donovan's out of here." But he's 28 years old. He had 2 years of eligibility on this contract. You could still have him. He's not going to be costing you a lot. And I think if we were going to get something for him, this was the time. This was the time that we'd get the most out of him. And if he play and wait until spring, the trading deadline, he could get hurt, and that would just take all that out of there. So there was always rumors about Seattle and the Cardinals, and we wanted some top prospects. And Seattle's got a good minor leagues, and we made that deal. And to be honest with you, I think it's a great deal. They get Brendan Donovan, and I just want to say, Brendan, thank you so much for your time in St. Louis. You came up, class guy, worked hard, was a Gold Glover, an All-Star player, and I'm sure he's going to have some more All-Star years and Gold Glove years out there. And he's going to be a part of a very good team who's really they were so close to the World Series last year. So good luck to him. But on the Cardinal side, we got 2 first-round draft choices by the Seattle Mariners. Both of them are top 10 Mariner prospects. Vince, you may have to help me with the first pitcher, Gerangelo Quintero or something like that. He was a first-round pick.
I'm not helping you with that.
Yeah, I think I said some nasty words in there, and I apologize to all the young kids out there and the ladies in the viewing area. But he is a switch pitcher, and I've heard of this. There's been a few guys. His dominant side is right hand, but he can also pitch left-handed, and I'm kind of excited to see if he's going to use that in the game. He's a young guy though. He is a strikeout pitcher. I have his stats here. Now, he's only 5'11", but there's been a lot of 5'11" pitchers nowadays. When you think of pitcher, you think of 6'5". He's 200 pounds. Last year in Double-A ball, he was 5-7. Now, he moved up to Double-A last year. So the last part of the year, he was in Double-A. He was 5-7 with a 3.99 ERA. Pitched 108 innings, 57 walks. That's too many for that many innings. And he struck out 120. I do like that part. So he's got some hit and miss stuff. And he is number 91 in the top 100 minor league prospects. And that gives Cardinals 6 now prospects in the top 100. And there was years where we just had one guy in there. So we're building up our minor leagues. The Cardinals, as a Cardinal fan, you want to go out and think, hey, maybe we can win it this year. This year, it's going to take a minor miracle. But I'm excited. I think this team could go out and win 75, 77 games somewhere in there, be competitive, be aggressive, and let these kids get a lot of playing time. So now with Donovan gone, it looks like J.J. Weatherholt will play second and Mason Wynn short. And, J.J.'s a prospect coming up, but he looks special. And for years, we might have JJ at second and Win at short. That sounds great. Now, Nolan Gorman's going to have to put up or shut up. He's going to get third base. And so JC's going to be in there as well at third. So I'm really excited about that, Vince. I really am. And let's be honest, Arenado just wasn't the player offensively that he used to be. Still defensively, he was very good, and he'd still be good, better defensively than any of those two guys at second base. But they're going to go out there and give us their all. Another guy we got is Ty Pete, who was in the same. He was just within the draft last year and was picked 2 places after J.J. Weatherholt. He's the first round pick. He was number 11 in the Seattle Prospects, and he's only 19 years old. Now, Vince, he was playing in high A ball last year. So he's 18 years old playing with these 21 and 22-year-olds, and he only hit 217. I will say that. And he struck out too much. But what he did do was he had 19 home runs and 25 stolen bases. He's very athletic, and he's only 19 years old. He's still got a lot to learn. He came right out of high school, just like Jordan Walker. So I say let him work his way up. Don't rush him. We don't have any reason to rush him. And this kid might be a prospect. Now, he was drafted as a shortstop, but every kid in high school, the best athlete in the whole team is usually the shortstop. So it looks like more than likely he's going to be a center fielder. He's got a lot of speed, and he can play the corners as well. So I'm excited about this kid. But somehow Tampa Bay worked their way into it. They got somebody from Seattle, and we've got this outfielder, Colton Ledbetter. He was number 24 prospect for the Rays, and he's 24 years old, and he was in Double-A. And then we also got 2 compensatory picks, number 68 and number 72. Now, that top 10 guys don't always make it to the big leagues. Brendan Donovan was a 7th round pick. So it's a crapshoot, but we're going to get a shot at some good picks right there. And that's 5 players for Brendan Donovan. I'm happy with that. None of these guys may make it to the pros, but if 1 or 2 of them make it, that's a pretty good pick, And like I said, Brendan Donovan's already 28 years old, so he'll have his prime years up there with Seattle or wherever he ends up. And Vince, how do you feel about that? I thought it was a pretty darn good trade for the Cardinals.
I'm going to take the opposite approach. I understood Sonny Gray. I understood Contreras. I understood Arenado. They're on the wrong side of 30. Big contracts. No controllability with them. Go ahead and ship them off and let them play elsewhere. I know you got a big haul for him. I would have liked to have seen at least one major league player in that deal. Because you don't have much. And I think Pacoda has you at 71.5 wins. If I was a bet man, I would take the under. I don't know what you're going to do this year. You don't have much pitching. You don't have much offense. And I understand stripping it down and rebuilding it. I just don't get why he was the one, because he's in his prime. He's got 2 more years of controllability to him. He's a fan favorite. He does so many things right that other players can look at him. And correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't he come from a military family?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got leadership all over him. And I would have rather seen them do almost anyone else, Victor Scott or
Walker,
Gorman or Walker. I'm not as high on Walker as other people are. I know that you traded the player that you could get the most for besides Mason Wynn, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But I did not like that trade. And he's the kind of guy who's probably going to be the difference between winning 70 games and 75 games. He's that big of an impact on the team. And leadership is sometimes just knocked way down because everything's analytics now.
Right.
And I watched probably about 50, 60 Cardinal games last year. And he and Mason Wynn were the only 2 that impressed me. And I just thought those two would be untouchable. So when I started hearing all these rumors about Donovan, I'm like, why would they trade Donovan? I know you can get a haul for him. You know, there's teams that were desperate for second baseman, but that's a guy I would build around and not try to build up from. But I'm not a general manager, although I play one on podcasts, but I was not impressed with it. And my immediate thought was, if I was a betting man, I'd bet the under now. I think they're going to have trouble winning 70 games because I just don't know where the offense is going to come from. Um, Burleson's good. Um, Wynn should get better. Um,
Herrera.
good. But other than that, there's too much strikeout and there's too many bad at bats. They started the year really good listening to Brant Brown and taking their walks, and then they fell into their old habits, which happens. It's a 162 game grind. You start off, oh, I've learned all these stuff in spring training. I've uh, trained my mind to think differently about hitting, but eventually fatigue catches up with you, and you just fall back onto what you were, and that's what happened to them last year. And Burleson was, or Donovan was the one that I thought was consistent the whole season. As far as offense and defense and leadership, I just didn't think he was the player to trade, but we shall see. I don't want the Cardinals to win less than 70 games. I mean,
Oh,
I live with a Cardinal fan. I want them to do well. Um, but if I look at this from just an analytical point of view, I think they're they're going to have a few surprises this year to get above 70 wins. Someone's going to have to emerge as a really good pitcher. Someone's going to have to emerge or take a step forwards as far as their offensive game goes in order to get above 70 wins. I'd be interested to see now that Donovan's gone, what Coda has them at. I'm sure they've probably
dropped
under
him.
70 games now, and it's a bad. It, in the context of what else is going on in the division, it's a bad time for the Cardinals to have to reset because Pittsburgh this year has decided we're going to add some offense to the pitching we have, so they're going to be better. The Reds are obviously better, the Cubs are obviously better, and the Brewers are the Brewers. And I just see, I don't know
Yeah.
how you're not going to. I think the four teams in the division are not just better than you. Uh, there's a gap between the four and you guys, and I can see this being a long season for Cardinals. And I know Cardinal fans, all fans are fickle, and you had 25 years of success. And we're the greatest fans in the world. We always show up. It's always easy to show up when you're winning.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I I'm I'm hoping the Cardinal fans have some patience here, and it's a different mindset when you go to the ballpark. I'm not going to see, ultimately, you want to see victories, but I'm going to see how this team progresses. I want to see the talent that's on the field. What do we have coming up? And,
Yeah.
in many ways, Heim Bloom just had to throw the monopoly board in the air and say, we're starting another game. But I just wish he would have kept Donovan when he did that. So,
Yeah. I don't know if he made it to play the next 2 years if we were going to sign him to a long-term contract when he went free agent. I don't know. And Vince, I think our starting pitching is going to be better than it was last year. Last year we were stuck with some big contracts, Michaelis, and I love Michaelis. Last year was a
I
terrible
loved
year.
him too.
I know you guys lit him up so much, and we're like, oh, he's got to stay in the game. And you guys loved it. I bet you guys all got bonuses hitting home runs off of him. Palante down the stretch just wasn't very good. We're going to have McCreevy all year. Now, Sonny Gray, who was our best pitcher, is now gone, but we'll have McCreevy up and Libator. Last year, I believe he pitched 150 innings and usually try to increase it by 20. So he'll be up around 170. And that young kid we got May. We got from the Dodgers. So I just think, just looking at the roster of the guys and Kevin or Kyle Lay, I think he might get that fifth spot. So just on that alone, I think they could have a better starting pitcher, but that ain't saying nothing, but they were terrible last year. So maybe we'll just be crappy, and that'll make up the difference and end up about the same where we were last year.
I was watching years ago. I was watching NWA Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta. And the Midnight Express for wrestling the Mulkey Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim Cornette walks up to the announcer and says, "Hey, Randy Mulkey's really improved. He used to be horrible. Now he's just terrible."
That's Cornette. That's corny for you there. Oh, yeah. He used to give them all trouble. Vince, I'm still excited. I'm going to the game. I'm going to game 2 against Tampa Bay. I'm excited. I think this team could surprise people.
I've seen a lot more losing than winning, and I still love the Cubs. So
yeah, no, hey, the Cubs are in. This is their time. I think each year they've gotten better and better and better. But you know how it is. Enjoy it while you're on the mountain. But we're down here in the mud, and I think the pieces. We got some good young outfielders coming. Church and Baez, athletic. If nothing else, I'd say turn them loose. Take chances on the base pads. Let's do it. And Vince, I think at the end of the year, you're going to go, well, you know what? You were right. 77 wins. I'm going to put money down on it. I'm going to DraftKings and putting the money on over.
I'll tell you what, JJ.
Yes.
If the Cardinals win more than 70 games, I will
do the podcast nude.
I don't want to punish people. Something fair. I will. I'll buy you a pizza and I'll have it shipped to you.
Oh, man. Now we're talking. All right. And if we don't win over 70, I'll. What's your favorite thing? I'll get you. Huh?
I said sex.
Oh, well, I can't help you there, but I'll you know what? I'll get you dinner for 2 at that over by Quonset. There's a little steakhouse right across the street from Quonset, Festus. I'll get dinner for 2 for you and your wife.
No, dinner for 2. That's just me. What's Kathy?
Oh, you'll eat both helpings. Okay, all right, dinner for you then.
All right, now do dinner for you. So Cardinals have to win more than 70 games.
Oh, yeah. We'll have that August.
Oh, I do want to add a few things. This is 35 years overdue. Joe Carter's getting a statue in Toronto. I think it would look a little more iconic if he would have hit the World Series winning home run on their first World Series run. But being they had won the previous year and this was the second one, it kind of gets forgotten about. And it should never be forgotten about, especially in Toronto. When you have Mitch Williams on the mound and you're up there and you got 2 men on and a home run's going to win it for you. And Joe Carter was so smart. He's like, he's going to throw something hard and inside because he's going to try to jam me. And I'm going to stick the head out and try to pull it down the line. And there it went. And Joe Carter, for one season, was the color commentator for the Cubs in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he was terrible at it. But, man, I just love that guy, and I thought he was one of the most fantastic moments in baseball. I like what he said as he was rounding the bases. You know, he's like, first thing I'm thinking, I got to touch all the bases. And then as he's running home, he's thinking, why didn't I learn to do cartwheels when I was a kid? So,
Vince, that organization now has been around 50 years. And me and you remember when they came up, the expansion team, 77. And I think of all the great moments. I know they've had great players, but the great moments in Blue Jay history, and there's only a few that I immediately think of. I think of Carter, and that'd be the perfect statue outside that stadium. But I also think of Joey Batista,
Yeah.
throwing his bat. He threw the greatest bat flip ever. I forgot what he did now. All I remember is that bat flip. And I'll be honest, I can't think of another moment where it was like, you know, something that just kind of a moment in time. But so those two memories are my biggest memories in the Blue Jays history.
Yeah, probably for me too. Yeah. Yep. Want to let people know that if you want to go to the Negro Hall of Fame, the month of February, Black History Month, is the time to do it because the Kansas City Royals are picking up every single ticket for the month of February. And that's fantastic.
Have you been there, Vince?
No, I still haven't been there.
I've been twice. And it was about a 10-year difference when I went. And there's a great barbecue place, Arthur Bryant's, right down the street from the place. So make a day of it. That's some of the best barbecue you're ever going to eat. But they have the souvenir area is bigger. You can get extra jerseys and hats, but they just keep expanding the museum, and different people have come up. I know Giddy Lee donated a lot of items to the museum. He's a huge collector, and he donated a lot of items to the museum. But at the end, there's a statue, a little baseball field with a wall and advertisements, and there's a player at each position, and you can go up. And of course, it's Satchel Paige pitching, Josh Gibson catching, and behind the little chicken wire in the manager spot is Buck O'Neill, who I got to meet Buck O'Neill one time. Fabulous, just a wonderful man. You're a better person for knowing that guy. But all the positions are filled out there, and you can go read about each guy. And that's some great picture taking right there. And the Jazz Hall of Fame is right. It's adjacent to that Hall of Fame. So I recommend you get a chance, go, and I bet it's even better now than when I was there last time.
Yeah, Buck O'Neill was a scout for the Cubs, and he actually discovered Ernie Banks. And I think it was Ernie's first year in the minors. He was ready to go home, and Buck said, "No, you're not going home. This is what you do. You don't realize it now, but you're a ball player." And so Ernie reluctantly stayed and became Ernie Banks.
I'll be darned. I heard a great trivia question, Vince, that I didn't know. So I'm going to ask you this. Branch Rickey actually had someone else in mind to be the first black player in the MLB. Would you know who he first was going to take and bring over to the Dodgers?
That would have been in the 40s. So Mays came up in 51, so it would have been before that.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Monty Irvin?
Vince, you're the man. It was going to be Monty Irvin. Monty Irvin also served in the service. Monty Irvin was a huge star in the Negro Leagues, but he suffered from PTSD. And you had to they needed somebody who could take that, all the trouble that was coming their way. So they thought, nah. And Monty Irvin made it to the pros, and fantastic player, but Jackie Robinson ended up being the player they took.
Yeah, Monty Irvin was when Willie Mays was a rookie. That's who they paired him up with as roommates, and they became really close. And he showed Willie the ropes, and Willie was ready to pack it in because he started like 0 for 20 in his career. And Monty said, "No, just go out there and catch the ball. You're going to hit. Just keep doing what you're doing." And it was like a day or two later, he got his first hit, which was a home run, I think, off Robin Roberts.
Oh,
maybe it was Warren Spahn.
Man,
he got his first hit. It was a home run, but yeah. And I don't know. Have you ever seen pictures of Monty Irvin?
Yeah, I got some baseball cards of his.
He was jacked. I mean, he was for a guy in that time period in the 40s and 50s, he was like, man, no one else is working out, but you must
Stout.
work out.
Him and Enos Slaughter were very close friends as
Oh,
well.
really? I did
Yeah,
not know that.
I read that somewhere. Yeah.
There are no obituaries this week besides Chuck Negron. And Chuck Negron was with Three Dog Night because he could not hit the breaking ball.
Who can? Only a
Yeah.
handful, you
So,
know. Vince, the World Baseball Classic may be in a little trouble. And I thought this when they announced this. I love the World Baseball Classic, but I was wondering how the teams were going to let players go play because we've had people. I think Edwin Diaz got hurt in the World Baseball Classic. Altuve has gotten hurt, and these are players that teams have spent a lot of money on, and they don't want. I mean, you can get hurt anytime, but now a lot of the players on the Puerto Rican team, because of insurance, some of them are coming. Lindor's coming off of injury. There's quite a few of them here. Elbow problems. Jose Barrios, Victor Cartland of the Twins, Alexis Diaz are coming because of insurance purposes. I don't think they're going to be able to play. So there's a chance Puerto Rico may have to pull out of the World Baseball Classic, and that would be a shame. They're one of the favorites. Everybody loves to watch them play. They play with heart and enthusiasm and just the love of the game. So I would hate to see that happen. But I understand it is a business, and you don't want your players getting hurt playing in a exhibition tournament. Did you hear anything about that, or what'd you think about that?
I heard about it, and I don't mean to sound like this guy, uh, but it used to be during the off season,
Oh
players
yeah,
play. They barnstormed on the weekends. They'd have regular jobs during the week. They'd barnstorm on the weekends and make extra money. And this is ridiculous. You can get hurt in an exhibition game. Edwin Diaz got hurt jumping up and down in a celebration. Okay, let them play. If they get hurt, they get hurt. But uh, I don't. I know you've invested a lot of money in these players, but at the end of the day, they're still human beings. They still have national pride. Let them play. And if you have a problem that they may get hurt, maybe I don't know, light an extra candle of mass. I don't know. That,
you know what? I'm with you because it's good for the game. It builds the game. All these countries see their favorites and they're people from the homeland and they're rooting for them, and then you see these guys that have been opponents and now they're playing together. And I remember when Baez and Yachty played together, and Yachty threw a guy out and Baez put the tag on there, and they were so happy. And I was like, oh man, that's cool. What if they could play together? And in the
why,
majors, that would be so cool.
why is this just an issue with the Dominican Republic, or is it
I
Puerto
don't.
Rico?
And Puerto Rico.
Why
I
is
don't know. I don't. A lot of those guys are coming off of surgeries and injuries from last year, and I think their teams are kind of like, hey, wait a minute. So I don't. That's what the word on the street is right now, and they're seeing right now if they can get other players to come in and play for them. But it won't be the big name players. The all-star type players.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. The MLB, they have lists for everything, Vince. The top 100 players, the 10th catchers, all that stuff. Well, they have Major League Baseball put out their underrated team. And I don't know if you heard about this, but you can now have made an all-star team. I don't know. There was several things on there. You couldn't be rookie of the year. It was just guys that are out there playing, but have kind of went underneath the radar. Of course, there's no Cubs because we all know the Cubs players. But I'll just go through this quickly. They put catcher Ryan Jeffries from the Twins, first baseman from the Angels, Nolan Schumel, second baseman from the Marlins, Xavier Edwards, and I've seen him play, and he is pretty good. But a lot of people don't know who he is. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford from Seattle, and I know who he is. I always thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he gets the love. See, this list is, should I even continue? Because we think they're pretty good, but they're somehow MLB thinks people don't give them enough love, and I don't know how they would figure that out, you know. But and then at third base, they have Toronto Blue Jay Ernie Clement, who set the record for most hits in the World Series last year. You know, I think he's pretty darn good myself. The outfield is Taylor Ward from the Orioles, Jacob Young Nationals, and Max Wallner from the Twins, and the DH Dominic Canzone from Seattle, pitcher Merrill Kelly from Arizona, and relief pitcher from Florida, Danny Colombi. I couldn't say his name, but those are the underrated players. There's no Cardinals or Cubs or actually anybody from the National League Central on any of that list. But Vince, I'm a sucker for a list. MLB has a list. I'll be checking it out, you know?
Like Santa Claus.
Yeah, checking it twice. And the last thing I have on just general news is the Twins just got rid of their president of baseball operations. He'd been there 9 years. They went to the playoffs 4 years, but they waited till practically 2 weeks before we go to spring training to get rid of him. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure we don't know the whole story, but the new GM, Jeremy Zell, will take over the operations in the meantime. So they'll be starting spring training and looking for a new president of operations at the same time. That's not a good sign, Vince.
No, no.
You know, if it wasn't for the Twins and the Rockies, Cardinals might be 30th in the power ratings right now. They keep us up there.
Any other general news?
No, that's basically it, Vince, right there.
Any other Cardinal news besides the trade?
Yes. The Cardinals are, we've had some problems with DraftKings, which isn't related to the gambling thing. It is where who would do our baseball games. But there was 14 teams there was 8 teams that were under this umbrella that they produced and put out the games, and then paid the team so much money. And now this team, they went defunct on their payments to the team. So the teams had a chance to either put their own production together or MLB would broadcast the games. And the Cardinals will be broadcast by the MLB. Now, Greg Inziger, who is on the MLB channel, says, oh, this will be great. It's top quality. You're going to have a lot of graphics on board. Sounds like MLB will do the pre and post game show and then send it out to your local announcer. So it'll still be Rooney and Horton on the radio, and my gosh, I'm drawing a, yes, Carey and Chalky. I call him Chalky because he's so pale. Brad Thompson on the TV side. So that's good. It's supposedly it'll be maybe on different channels than you are used to getting them now, but it'll be out there. And if you got the games before, and there's going to be no blackout rules. And Vince, I live in Arkansas. There was a time we got to see maybe more games than the people in St. Louis Cardinal games, but here lately we didn't get any because they said we were in that territory where you'd have to buy like some sort of subscription to watch the Cardinals, even down in Arkansas. And I was like, so most of the people down there listen. It would have to be like a MLB game of the week on a Saturday, or the ESPN game on Sunday nights. It had to be something like that. Mainly people listen on the radio, but now they're going to have subscriptions too, where it's $20 a month or $100 for the whole season for the Cardinals to win 77 games. It'll be a better deal.
So so if there's no blackout rules, so I can just get MLB TV and watch them?
That is what I understand, except I think that's going to be like 90% of the games. But there's going to be a few games that are like on the Peacock Network or the YouTube channel, and those have special rules for those because they bought the exclusive rights to those games. So if it's not on any of that, you should be able to watch every single game now, which is good. I pay $100 as a diehard fan. I'd pay $100 for season tickets just to sit in my living room and watch most of the games. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because even as just a baseball lover, I like to watch the cut. I like your superstar players and the Reds and the Pirates and the Birds. I love watching those teams. And like you said, I know Vince, you said one time you try to watch about 4 or 5 games of each team during the year, just kind of get a feel for them. That's what I try to do too. But it seems like I see a lot. There's some teams I always never get to see because it just doesn't fall right for me. But that's exciting news right there, and I'm looking forward to that. And the Cardinals have got some new invitees to spring training. Now we have 27 non-roster invitees to spring training, plus the 40-man roster. That brings us up to 67 players going down to spring training. I'm kind of excited about that. And one of the guys, you'll know, he's been with the Royals and the Cubs, Nelson Velasquez.
Velasquez, yes.
Yes, he's going to be on there. He's a righty. The Cardinals are left heavy. We need a right-handed bat. And he's going to get a shot at maybe a bench position. Is he a good Vince? Can you tell me something about him? Is he a good fielder? Does he have some pop? What's his game?
He was a decent fielder when he was with the Cubs. He wasn't like a butcher out there. Nothing special, but he gets the job done when he's out there. Good bat against the left-hander. I think he was generally liked on the Cubs. So yeah, he's a fourth outfielder kind of guy that you can bring in to pinch hit or start him against a tough lefty, and he'll battle.
Well, we need that. We need that right-handed bat, and we have some guys in Memphis that are about ready to come up, but I don't think we're bringing them up just to be the fourth outfielder. So they'll probably stay down in Memphis, play every day, get ready. If there's an injury, they're just a phone call away, and they'll be driving up the 55 to get here. So that'll be good. But that's basically it. We got 67 players coming in. I look for some surprises. There's probably going to be a pitcher or two that surprise. And I'm not putting too much pressure on these young guys. Just go out there. I know J.J. Weatherholt wants to come in and set the world on fire. But like you said about Willie Mays, just play the defense. The hits are going to come. You'll be fine. And, man, I'm excited to see some of these young guys play. And that's it for Cardinal news, Vince.
Well, with the Cubs, Jody Davis this year was put in the Cub Hall of Fame. And it just came out this last few days that he is also battling cancer at the age of 69. So,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
thoughts are with Jody Davis, one of the great guys in baseball. Everybody loved him, and a lot of people in St. Louis don't know that he was drafted by the Cardinals and spent a couple of years in their organization before being the Cubs picked him up, and he became an all-star for the Cubs. I've talked a lot on here how I'm in love with Ben Brown's stuff, and he just hasn't put it together. And there's been no rumors of trading him. He's been with the organization 4 or 5 years now. And the Cubs' longtime pitching coach, Tommy Hadaway, was talking about him this week, and he said, quote, "For me, he is 100% a starter. He's got the upside to be a really good power pitcher in the back end of a bullpen, but you don't want to just crown that. You want to see that kind of happen." So I think Tommy Hadaway is looking that he's kind of saying that I think Ben Brown's going to fight for a spot at the back end of the bullpen, but long term we see him as a starter. And I'm glad they're not giving up on him. He's the guy who I always see Adam Wainwright every time I watch him pitch. Gosh, man, it's just an Adam Wainwright clone. So I hope he can put it together. Moises Ballesteros is going to make the team at the age of 22. He played last year at the age of 21. He was good for us, had a huge hit in Milwaukee. Didn't get enough bats to qualify for Rookie of the Year, so he's still technically a rookie. And he's a catcher by trade, but his defense is behind his offense. His offense is just stupid. He is a contact hitter with power. and he just puts the bat on the ball and hits line drives and shots everywhere. Um, but they were discussing him that he is going to see sometime this year at catcher. We do have the two-headed monster of Miguel Amaya and Carson Kelly. So Ballesteros be that third catcher. He'll probably catch maybe some blowouts. Probably catch second game of a doubleheader every now and then if we have some rainouts. But they don't think he's going to be a bad defensive catcher. They just think now he's wasn't quite ready to be catching on the major league level. And so he is going to see some time at catcher. Because a lot of people are saying, well, we heard that Kyle Schwarber was a catcher and he came up and he caught like 2 games and we never saw him catch again. Ballesteros apparently does have a few more skills than Schwarber did behind the plate. So we'll see. As players are showing up in Arizona, PCA is talking that he is, because he had a streaky year, and that what he's concentrating on, what they're working with him on, is starting from the same base. And he said, if you look at my at bats last year, I kept changing the base of where I would start my stance, and I need to find a consistent place and stick with it. So, and he was saying that in the context that he has already had discussions with Alex Bregman, and Bregman's talking to him about being more patient at the plate, taking a few more walks. You don't have to always hit the home run. You take a walk, it's a double for you. Just and you have coaches who are telling you stuff like this. But when you got an all-star coming in and they specifically track you down and want to talk about your hitting, he's like, wow, man, tell me more. So that's pretty cool. And then there is this rumor, and I usually don't deal with rumors on here, but this one is intriguing. It's not a secret that Detroit is now shopping Derek Skubal.
Right.
If he wins this arbitration, they don't want to pay him $32 million. And so there is a rumor that they would like a package of Matt Shaw and Jackson Wiggin, our number one pitching prospect right now, who tops out at 100, and maybe another mid-level prospect for Skubal.
Wow.
I would make that trade.
I would too.
Skubal, this is his first year of arbitration eligibility, so you're going to have control of him for 2 more years. And this is our window right now. Shaw, I like him. He's going to be a super utility player this year. But pitchers like Derek Skubal don't come around that often. We are still talking about adding Zach Gallen, who I just do not want. We've got a ton of starting pitching, but if you got the chance to pick up a Derek Skubal, you get him.
There ain't a lot of those around.
You figure it out later. You automatically have probably with Paul Skeens, I would say they're 1 and 1A in the National League. I'd say on all of baseball now, they're probably 1 and 1A. So if this is true, I would like to see them pull this trigger. Don't want to lose Shaw. I don't want to lose a pitching prospect, but that's why they're prospects. Okay.
Right.
This is our window to win now. We're going to have a new CBA, and we have no idea what that landscape is going to look like after this year. I say if this is a serious rumor, and it seems to be something that has been discussed amongst the teams, this wasn't just some stupid meme on the internet. I say you go for it. I say you go for it. Push all your chips in to win. You have a short series against the Dodgers, and you can pitch Scooble, you can pitch Steele, you can pitch Boyd, you can pitch Horton. You've got take your pick of starting pitchers, and then you can put some of these starting pitchers in the pen, and you only have to have a starter go out there and go 4 innings and just keep bringing in all these arms. I think with Scooble, we can compete with the Dodgers in a 7-game series. Without him, it's going to be very tough because we don't have a pitcher who can quite match Yamamoto. Morton is really good, but he's not Yamamoto. So I would like to see them pull the trigger on this. And if he doesn't go anywhere, fine. But if he goes somewhere else, I'm going to be so. We should have pulled the trigger on this because I know he's got friends in Chicago. He's good friends with Zach Short. Zach Short was in the Cubs organization in the minor leagues with Ian Happ, and they're still really close. And so through that relationship, Happ has become friends with Scooble. And so there is a friendship there. They run in the same friend group of baseball players. So I would really like to see that. And I'm sure he would love to pitch in Wrigley with that electricity. I'm not saying the Tigers don't have their fans. And yeah, they were excited, playoff run and everything, but Jeezel Beazle, to pitch in Chicago, to pitch in the big time, I'm sure he would love that. You know who else would love that?
I think Jeremy Connor would absolutely love that.
No, Bob Smith would.
No, Bob.
Jeremy Connor is the one who would love that. Comes a time in every man's life when he needs some advice on relationships. You need to listen to the podcast DMDR, which stands for Dating, Marriage, Divorce, Remarriage, from my good friend Jeremy Connor, the Dr. Phil of the Boot Hill. You can find DMDR on Spotify or whatever platform you choose to listen to your podcast. We had a guest lined up, but our guest has fallen through.
It's a big deal to come on here, Vince. This is the big time, all right? This ain't no little organization. And a lot of people, they say on a Monday or Sunday, hey, I'm going to be on there. And then all of a sudden, Tuesday morning rolls around and they get the cold feet, Vince. It's tough being grilled by the great Vince Opper, and you never know what kind of questions I'm going to ask him.
Well, we started in 2022.
Let me think about this. Oh, Vince.
When's the last year the Cardinals made the playoffs?
22.
That's when we started.
September 22.
So we started September 22. So we've done a full 23, 24, a full 25. We're entering 26. So we're basically on our 4th season. And I think it's only happened like 5 or 6 times that people not been on here. So it doesn't happen that often, but it's a little frustrating. Like, oh, well, now what do we got to do? We have to fill the time. So JG and I are going to fill the time doing some goofy things.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I want to send a shout out to Tony Pruno and Tom. Tony. Two of the guys, they watch the show. Tony's been on here with one of the greatest baseball rooms in the history of mankind. And so we went to Orlando Gardens, and when we pulled up there, we were about on time. Not a single car was in the parking lot. We're like, what the heck? Evidently, there's 2 Orlando Gardens in St. Louis. One up on in South County area, and the other one's up on Dorset. So we went that far. Let's go to Dorset. We go up there. This place is massive. They had 3 giant rooms. A lot of people who have been on the show. John, who was on the show just a couple of weeks ago, I ran into him. Brad Juliet, who owns the card show down in shop down in Caledonia, ran into him. Ran a lot of people who have seen the show. Hey, 1 Cardinal, 1 cup, 1 beer. Hey, how you doing? That kind of thing. So just having a blast up there. And I picked up some goodies. All right. So I'm going to show off some of the goodies. First of all, I am putting together a library of signed books by baseball players. Now, I only have 3. I've got 2 by Matheny and 1 by Tony La Russa. So this guy did play for the Cardinals for a short time, but he wrote a book called Starting and Closing, and it's the John Smoltz book. How about that? And it's signed by John Smoltz right there. All right. And there's the back of the book. So it's about his life and times. He came up, he was a starter, and then he became one of the best closers in baseball. And the collector even has the receipt from when he bought the book right there. So how about that? So I got that. I'm so proud of it. And that goes into my collection now of the John Smoltz book. I'm going to read it too. Perseverance, Faith, and One More Year. Played a long time in the big leagues, and he finished his career with the St. Louis Cardinals for 1 year. So that's one of the little pieces I got. Vince, I got some cards here. And, I don't know what I want till I see it. I got one football card because me and Brody, our favorite offensive football player ever. And I got Earl Campbell's rookie card right there. Earl Campbell. Woo! Now, that's my favorite running back of all time right there. Earl Campbell, if you haven't watched him, I've never seen a running back put the punishment on the defensive players more than Earl Campbell and the Houston Oilers. And he's lovable because the Oilers never could get past the Steelers. They were in the same division with Terry Bradshaw and that whole Hall of Fame team. And I tell you what, the Oilers gave them everything they could handle, but the Steelers usually won. I got a better 1973 Reggie Jackson. And Vince, I always thought this card was him strutting out on the field, but it's him throwing the baseball. I never realized that for the longest time. But it's Reggie throwing the baseball, 1973. 73 don't seem long ago to me, but man, that's been a while ago now, 1973. Yeah. Time flies. Sometimes when you open a pack of cards, you get an autograph, and this is a pack that was opened, and it's got a Tommy Pham with the Cardinals autographed. It's autographed, and the company put, congratulations, you have got a Tommy Pham autograph card. So I tell you what, I like Tommy Pham, always have, and he's a tough dude. Alan Ginter has some great cards, and this is a chrome one of the one and only Paul Skeens.
Oh, nice.
What, I'm collecting all things Paul Skeens right there. Rookie card, Paul Skeens. And finally, we went out to Pittsburgh, and they have 4 statues around their stadium, and one of them, of course, Roberto Clemente. You got the Roberto Clemente Bridge, but right down on the other end of the block is the Willie Stargell statue. So I got a Willie Stargell right there. I believe that's 67, Willie Stargell. So those were some of the cards I picked. Now, and then I've been investing in J.J. Weatherholtz. So I've got a ton of J.J. Weatherholt cards, and I even got some graded. I'm working on that. So me and Brody have decided we're going to go out and get some J.J. Weatherholt cards. Now, Vince, he may become just an okay major leaguer, and that's pretty darn good right there. But if he becomes who the people are predicting, he might be, special. So we'll see. But I got a bunch of J.J. Weatherholts. Now, Vince, I like the normal stuff, and I like the unusual stuff. And this may become a part of the show. Anytime the Cardinals do anything good, because it sounds like they're not going to have a big year, I got Norm Macdonald, Cardinal fan, boxing here. And I think I'm going to put pom-poms on them. See right there? Look at that. Da-da-da-da. And the Hillsborough fight. The Hillsborough fight song is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's got the number 00 right back there. And I just thought, that is so cool. Right there. Now, Vince, I told the guy I bought it from that I was buying it for my grandkids. No, I'm buying it for me. I put it in my baseball room. All right. And Vince, the great thing about being a dad is when I didn't have kids, people thought that guy's kind of a weirdo. But when you have kids, they go, oh, he's such a good dad. Man, he's such a good dad. So now I can buy weird stuff like this. So I'm going to bring that out anytime we mention Jeremy Connor or something the good that happens, he's going to come out and and I'm going to put some pom-poms on there on the boxing gloves and have him doing some cheering and that stuff. Now, Vince, the big thing. This is the big thing I got. I'm very excited about this. I've never seen it before. And, I go to a lot of these shows and I talk to people. I see their collections. But when I seen this, I was like, I got to have that. I can't tell you how much I spent for it. It's an investment. But, Vince, check this out. Topps 50 posters out in 19 or 80s. Okay. And this is like a movie poster, like The Hunt for Red October. And it says, we're red hot, featuring Keith Hernandez, Bruce Sutter, and Ozzie Smith. And it is coming the summer of 82. Now, for me, this means a lot because 82, the Cardinals won the World Series. And it was the first time in my grown up life that the Cardinals had won the World Series. But what's so great about this is the guy got Ozzie to sign it, Bruce Sutter, who's no longer with us, and Keith Hernandez. And, there's a chance Keith might make the Hall of Fame. And down here, you can see it's Topps, Cooperstown Collection, the Cardinal thing, and the letter of all the authenticity. And in the back, they've got the certificate for authenticity right here. So I absolutely love this. And my wife said, "How much did I spend?" And I said, "Oh, not too much." And that's all I've been saying. I've been keeping it quiet. I've been keeping her at bay with this thing. And I keep her back with that, and I bring this to the baseball room. So how about, isn't that not nice? I am digging that big time right there.
So did you say it's not really the cost? It's this. We no longer have a son. Okay.
Now I'm eating crackers all week to get ready for this weight losing contest. So, until next payday, it's going to be lean times. But, I'll be keeping myself entertained with Norm Macdonald here, right there. Get my exercise. So, Vince, that's what I do with my weekends, right there in a nutshell.
I'll show you what I do with my weekends. Okay.
Oh, let me see.
Now, these are not framed yet, and I haven't even had time to really look and see what craft shows I'm going to go to. But these will be framed. These are some of the ones I've looked at. You give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like this. This first one is Pinup Girl, who's a mechanic.
That's a classic. That's 50s right there. Classic.
Yeah, thank you. This is Pinup Zombie Girl, eating a brain.
I'm going to go even higher. The last one, I'm going to go 7.5. That's a 9 right there.
You know how much I like pop culture.
Oh yeah.
This is I made this TV guide cover, and I used to watch Dance Fever, so I got a disco-based TV guide cover that I'm going to frame.
Denny Terrio. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll give you 2 fists for good.
This is why my mom always had questions about me. So I did this movie poster of a B horror movie, The Mother Who Smoked, Children Beware, Fiendish, Deadly, Diabolical, Nicotine, Corrupted Monster Mother, Beware Children. So what do you think about that?
What I love about it is she looks so sinister and the kids are so innocent down in the corner. I absolutely love that. Kind of scares me a little bit too, to be honest with you. I love it. It's got that classic horror 50s drive-in movie look to it.
When I was growing up, everybody's parents smoked. And so my mom smoked. And I don't do impressions when I do comedy, but I do have an impression of my mom that I love to do.
Oh, please.
True. I'm sitting at the dinner table and I'm salting something, and my mom has a cigarette in her mouth. Vincent, that salt's going to kill you.
Hey.
All right. I like combining religion with sex appeal. Here's Pinup Evangelist.
Oh, yeah. I like her tambourine, if I can say that on TV here. Yeah.
Oh, and I also love pinball art. So I made a punk rock pinball machine.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Remember the old photo mats?
I love them. The little building.
Well, don't you wish that every photo mat attendant looked like this pinup girl?
Oh, yes. Oh, they didn't.
And I like Norman Rockwell paintings. So I just had fun and I created this.
Yes.
And I like just about any music but disco. And the Who came out with a song called Goodbye Sister Disco, and I kind of picked up on that. I've got Metal Kills Disco,
Oh yeah.
carrying a disco ball there.
How about that?
And I love the classic Monsters, but we all need time to relax and take time off of monstering. So we all need time to relax. I got Frank
Oh yeah, the classics.
and the Creature right there playing golf.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I've done a few things that are a little more, I guess, teenage oriented. It's the simple things in life. Got a flower
Oh,
child sitting by the
that's
brook.
beautiful.
I showed you this one last week or 2 weeks ago. Enjoy your childhood.
Oh, Vince, I thought about that several times during the week. I love that.
Eh. This is in honor of my wife. Um, I don't know your question, but my answer is coffee. And this is in honor of my family. The best families are full of weirdos. So I got like the tinfoil.
Yes. The
Yeah.
little baby with the alien outfit on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, having fun with that one. I posted this one online, and I'm not a Gallagher fan. And so I came up with this, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So I've got he threatened the wrong melon, so I've got a melon chasing after Gallagher. Revenge is a dish best served smashed. So, and finally, another, I guess, kind of a punk poster. Johnny Nerd and the Hairballs coming to Dallas October 19th. Tickets are ridiculously high. So,
I love it.
so
Very good. That's got a kind of a wacky pack vibe, some of those.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not an artist, so
They look good to me.
no, I tinker around on AI and kind of I have in my mind, and sometimes I have to describe it in 20 steps for me to get it to where, okay, that's close enough to what's in my mind.
Very cool. AI is great, man.
I'm enjoying it. So
Yeah.
anyway, we should open up baseball cards.
Oh, it's that time of the show right there.
And I have 1990s Bowman.
Oh yeah, I remember those packs. I'm trying to
Bowman.
see what year this is. And by the way, my cards for the next 6 weeks are sponsored by the great Tom Majay. I have Donruss, but I do not know what year this is.
Yeah, Donders is the one that don't put the year on it. You have to open it up and see.
Got to find out, but I believe this might be 90, maybe 90 somewhere in there. You want to go first, Vince? I'm going to say two Hall of Famers for you.
I'm going to say one. I'm always happy when I get one piece. Very good. Oh. For the Reds, we have pitcher Tim Layana. I do not remember him.
I don't remember him either. I remember those style of cards, though. I think there's a great Ken Griffey Jr. card in that.
I got a checklist.
All right. You need those if you want to finish your sets.
That's right. Pitcher for the Braves, also pitch for the Royals. Left-hander Charlie Liebrandt, good pitcher.
Oh, yeah. A great number 4 for that staff.
For the formerly known Indians, we have outfielder Chris James. I barely remember him.
Yeah, me too.
I do not remember this guy. For the Pirates, we have outfielder Steve Carter.
Don't remember him, Vince, at all.
Gosh, I don't remember this guy either. For the Reds, we have stuck to another card. Outfielder Scott Bryant. I don't think he ever played in the majors.
He looks happy.
On the back of the card, it says Scott made his professional baseball debut at Cedar Rapids in 1989. So,
okay,
I have a Hall of Famer.
Hey, one.
Former shortstop, former outfielder, spent his whole career as a Brewer, Robin Yount.
Oh, yeah. Great player.
owns the town now.
Yes.
I have this Padre card deal thing, and I don't know who it is. It's just
It looks
generic.
like maybe Atlee Hammaker or something, maybe.
I don't know. There's no name on it. It's just kind of a like a drawing. So
Okay.
I don't know. Ooh, when he played for the Padres, former Cardinal, former Giant, former Yankee, Jacques Clark.
Oh, yes. All of very good.
Pitcher for the Angels, left-hander who finished his career in Detroit. Long career, Frank Tanana.
Oh, I love Frank Tanana. I got
Well,
several of his autographs.
one of those great right field arms that we were accustomed to growing up. Yankees at this time. He also played for the Blue Jays and the Tigers. Jesse Barfield.
Yes.
Uh, Pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays and also a graduate of Southern Illinois University, former All-Star Dave Steve.
Oh, yeah. If I think of 5 Blue Jay pitchers, he's one of them. He was the ace of that staff for years and years.
Do you know who won the 1988 Rookie of the Year? It was kind of an upset.
Was it Kasenko?
No, for the National League.
Oh, for the National League. Vince. Sandberg? I can't remember years now. I'm off.
Third baseman Chris Sabo.
Buzz McKenzie.
He edged out Mark Grace. Pirate shortstop or second baseman Jose Lean.
Oh, yeah, he's a good player.
And finally, for the Blue Jays, we have outfielder Junior Felix.
Oh, yeah, laying down the bunt. Hey, we're starting to see more bunts in the big leagues, too.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right,
so I think that's good.
One Hall of Famer.
One Hall of Famer. Well, Vince, let me see here what year this is. 1991. 1991. Now, again, I want to thank Thomas J. sponsoring me. The JJ, I'm sponsoring the card opening. So thank you, Thomas J., patron saint of wrestling. Love Thomas J. So, and this Donver said they have a puzzle, and this is the bottom piece. It's Willie Stargell. There's a puzzle of him, and if I open enough of these, maybe I can get the whole puzzle together. So now, would you care to guess how many Hall of Famers I got, Vince?
2. You're going to get 2.
2. All right. This is 1990 Donruss. Outfielder Ricky Jordan from the Phillies.
Ricky Jordan.
Yeah, right there.
Good player.
We got, a good player. This guy was outstanding. B.J. Suroff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. Right there. So that's a better view of him.
Very good catcher.
Oh, this guy was a pain in our butt in St. Louis. Third baseman, New York Mets, Howard Johnson. Cork bat and all right there.
Corked bat, corked arms, corked everything. He
played corked.
I was at the end of his career.
Yeah, and he was a very good player. I'll give him that. Oh, Kansas City, we both are Royal fans, especially in that time period. Jim Eisenreich of the Royals.
Oh, yeah. Also played for the Twins, and he was on that Phillies team in '93 who went to the World Series.
That's right. Very good, Vince. Right there. Good player. Montreal Expo. It's good to see the Expo cards again. Mark Gardner from the Expos right there.
Oh, yeah.
I like those red jerseys, by the way. That's a nice look. A rated rookie for the Expos, Brian Barnes. Now, I remember the name, but I couldn't tell you much about him. But I remember this guy.
I think he was a rated rookie. That's what I remember about him.
See, Vince, you can't get nothing past him. Monty Irvin, rated rookie. He knows it all. Okay, Hall of Famer. And I've met him. I love this guy. And he had some really yard marks in his career. Detroit Tigers, Jack Morris.
Oh, Hall of Famer.
Yes, very good pitcher. I loved him. I remember his no-hitter and the 10-game masterpiece he threw in the World Series. The Dodger reliever, Jay Howell.
Yeah.
There he is.
Vince,
I want the Dodgers to get beat. I hope the Cubs. I think the Cubs are one of the 2 or 3 teams that could really knock off the Dodgers this year. And I'm going to say this on one Cardinal, one Cub, one beer. I'm rooting for the Cubs when they're playing the Dodgers. Go Cubbies, go! I'll even sing the little victory song at the end. All right, we got a Cleveland Indians as they were back. The Indians back then. Candy Maldonado.
Oh, the Candyman.
Yeah, the Candyman can. Look at that. He's stout. They had a good hitting team back then. Big first baseman for the Houston Astros, Glenn Davis.
Oh yeah.
There he is. We got an MVP card, and he is a Hall of Famer now. Milwaukee. He's on the Brewers at the time. The Cobra himself, Dave Parker.
Oh,
Look at that guy. That's a good-looking fella right there. Yeah, Dave Parker. All right. Chicago White Sox, and these are not the White Sox uniforms you like, Vince. From a little throwback from last week's show. Carlos Martinez from the White Sox. Right there. Yeah. All right. We got.
By the way, yeah. I looked online to find those retro jerseys from the late 70s, early 80s. I can't find them anywhere for sale.
Really? They've done away with them.
I can't find them anywhere.
They'll pop. Somebody will have some. They'll pop up somewhere. Maybe they're saving them for a big sale or something like that. But I'm shocked. I thought they'd be somewhere. Well, how about that? Now, Vince, help me out here. I think this guy should be a Hall of Famer, and I can't remember if he is or not. But I love this guy. One of the best curveballs ever. California Angel, Bert Blyleven.
Yeah, he made it.
He made it. So that's three Hall of Famers. I'm a big Blyleven guy. He's up there in the strikeout records. I don't think he played. I think the Twins that year they won the World Series. He was him and Viola. But for the most part, he was always a great player, just on good teams. And finally, a Chicago Cub. Vince, remember this guy, pitcher Mike Harkey?
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah,
I remember the name. That's all I have.
He was also Major League pitching coach. I can't remember what team. And his son was a tight end for the Rams when the Rams were in town.
I did not know that, Vince. Well, that's it for my cards right there.
Oh, you did good. 3 Hall of Famers and a Mike Harkey. And
that's right. I'm going to send a little special salute right there. Da, 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 da.
So that's Norm McDonough?
Yeah, it looks like him. That's what my wife and son said. Norm McDonald right there. Yeah.
All right. Well, JJ, you have a good week. Enjoy the Super Bowl. And I will see you next week. Everybody have a good week.
Take care.